So, I'm not one to usually make videos like this. I don't usually do rants or vlogs of this sort of nature. And I feel like the reason I'm making this one is because, in all truth be told, this topic that I want to talk to you guys about is personal to me and is also very much something I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. So, with that said, here we go. I think Pokemon finally jumped the shark. Now, a lot of you in the audience are probably saying something like, but Smarty, really? Really now is the point in which you think Pokemon jumped the shark? Really? Even after Pokemon Black and White 2, even after the fact that they remade Silver and Gold, and by the way, those were two fucking fantastic games. But yeah. So, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about why I think Pokemon X and Y finally jumped the shark. So let's start off by looking at the brand new starters, and honestly, be told, the only one I could actually see myself playing as is Fennekin, but then again, he's some weird ferret, dog, finks thing. Also, what the fuck is Chespin? Is that, like, supposed to be like Oshawott except in reverse and made into a grass Pokemon? Because I don't know about you guys, but I think that's what the fuck it looks like. And Froakie, I really don't have much to say about Froakie other than because, you know, we needed another frog Pokemon, much like Politoed, Palpitoad, Croagunk, even Poliwhirl, even if you want to count that. But really, I don't think that they are going to be able to contribute anything else. I mean, there's also the Evolutions. The fucking Evolutions. Let me just put this into perspective here. Who put the fucking pink ribbons on the Eevee? Which one of y'all in the motherfucking fan base here did that? Because I'm pretty sure I didn't put the fucking ribbons on the goddamn Eevee. I'm pretty sure Show Me to the Exit or Page Games in the sub base here didn't put ribbons on the fucking Eevee. So one of y'all motherfuckers in here did, and someone's gotta fess up. Someone's gotta fess up right now, or I will be smacking some heads in here. And what drives me up the wall when it comes to Pokemon is it had such potential with its name. Pokemon X and Y. It could have gone into X chromosome, Y chromosome, something of the genetic fashion. But no. With the legendaries, we wanted to go with mythological creatures. So we went with a deer and an eagle. X and Y could have been something of the nature of genetics. We could have gone into Mew3. We'll get to you later. We could have gone into Pokemon that were created by humans to do something, but no, we've got to go with a giant deer named Xerneas and Yzivitetel. The eagle. Crow thing. The thing that has basically the Lugia pose. Yeah, I mean, sure, they look cool. They look interesting, but they really don't have much to offer. I mean, they're not as intimidating as, say, some of the old legendaries like Giratina, Lugia, Ho-Oh. Those Pokemon had some sort of, like, they had this sort of look that you did not want to fuck with them. Even Rayquaza. Even Rayquaza with its, like, snake-like body and its big-ass head and its lipstick. That looked fucking beautiful. Oh, and also, let's get to this new announcement thing they made. Who is this new Pokemon? It's Mew3. The mysteries of Pokemon X and Y continue to grow in the unveiling of a Pokemon that is strangely familiar. It's Mew3. It looks a lot like the powerful legendary Pokemon Mewtwo, but quite not the same. It's Mew3, or as my best friend Brent calls it, Majin Mew. I'm gonna bet you this. It's just another form of Mewtwo. Essentially, it's gonna be something along the lines of, oh hey, if you trade over Mewtwo from your past game to this game, you get to have this version of Mewtwo. It's not going to be anything special. You're going to think it with your dumb brain being like, oh my god, it's the special version of the Mew3, and I can go get stuff with it. But in the end, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to have its same 4 moves that you always expect, and honestly, it's just going to be the fucking same. I can already tell. Maybe I'll be wrong, and maybe it will be sort of the spawn of Mewtwo. Like, you run into Mewtwo, and all of a sudden it has a baby Pokemon, and that's it. And you're gonna be like, what happened to its head? What happened to its head? One thing I'll give it, though, is the locations for this game look actually pretty good. The game is supposed to take place in France, and from what I've seen, the Eiffel Tower looks spiffy as ever. And also, I am going to laugh incredibly hard if, when you get into like the city area where the Eiffel Tower is, if there's an entire building filled with chefs that are training Froakies, and you get to actually fight all of them. Froakie is the frog Pokemon, remember that. This is France. Frog legs, delicacy, food, nom 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 nom. So yeah, that's not my real reason for making this video, to just bitch about Pokemon X and Y. My real reason is to talk about a couple of things on my mind that would make the ultimate Pokemon game. Yes, Pokemon X and Y is trying to up the level of just awesome for its fan base, and I commend him with that. I just don't think I'm going to stick around any longer. This is a couple of things I would like for a Pokemon game to be made that would, to me, be the ultimate Pokemon game. Number one would have to be a massive world. And when I say that, I'm taking from the book of Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And when I say that, I mean basically, like, take the concept of going back in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where after the main game you could go into post-game and basically fight the old gym leaders from the old region. I want that, except with all of the regions. So basically, I would want to go back and fight all of them. I would want to fight with Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sevi Islands, Sinnoh, Unova, count all of them. Even the X and Y region, because then it could show that you've been everywhere and have fought everything in your path. And it gets exponentially harder as the game goes on. That would be a fucking challenge. And with that comes the concept of every single Pokemon ever. I would like also every single Pokemon that is in the game to be in this game. Like, everything from every region shows up. And I'm pretty sure there's like 600 Pokemon, so it would be a little difficult to actually sort of get the randomizer, so where you have it. So how I would see it is every region you go into, you unlock those new Pokemon. You unlock those new 150 or so. So by the time you get done, you can go to any region and pick up any of those Pokemon. I know there's going to be obviously more because Game Freak is probably making more hat Pokemon or more trash bag Pokemon, more useless Pokemon as they would make, like the ice cream Pokemon. Who the fuck decided the ice cream Pokemon? By the way, that is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And also with the return of the Pokemon come the return of all the legendaries. That was another thing I enjoyed about Heart Gold Soul Silver. You could go back and collect all of the legendaries. I remember spending at least a good day just side questing to get all of the legendaries. I have everyone except for Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza. Wait, no, I have Rayquaza still. I mean just like in Heart Gold. I don't have Groudon and Kyogre because you have to get it from the other games. But that's something I would like. I would like for you to be able to, while you go into the regions, be able to capture each of the Pokemon in their own original states. Like in the original forms that you had to catch them in, the own like in the old locations that you had to go to get them, that's where I would like to catch them. So then you could just relive that old memory of you going back and catching it, because that was what was fun about it. The dungeon crawling, the adventure of catching this legendary Pokemon that you were looking for. What would make it even better is if you could catch all the event Pokemon. Like, they weren't event Pokemon anymore. They were actually in the game, and you had to get the items through certain story-based events, not like Wi-Fi events or GameStop events, because that was fucking annoying. I didn't know anything about those until maybe a year later. So that really gave me an issue, like when it came to playing the game, because I wanted to unlock the certain event, but I didn't have the item. And with that, it allows you to catch an Arceus if you wanted to. The God Pokemon. Who would not want a game where the final legendary you could catch is the God Pokemon? I would fucking love that, just so I can catch that, and maybe afterwards it gives you because I know, if I'm correct, when you get it and trade it, it gives you a Giratina, or one of the three from the Diamond, Pearl, Platinum era. Anyway, and when referring to catching Pokemon in their own locations and whatnot, this really brings back memories to me of catching Giratina in the Dark World, because that was a story-based event, and you could only get it when you were in the dark world, or the other world rather, when you were facing against Cyrus and whatnot. It was actually one of the best moments in Pokemon for me. But yeah, essentially that's what I would like. I would like a game that revisits all of the old regions and pretty much is sort of a commemorative look at Pokemon, in a sense, in chronological order. I guess you could... If anything, I would like it for this game to be called... Hang on, and I'm going to use Comic Sans here just to add the effect. Pokemon Rainbow. The other option for a game is, if they were going to go out with a bang, I think the Legendary should be the main thing about this game, like the story of this game, where if you catch the Legendary, that affects your game entirely. And when I say that, and this will never happen, because it'll be like, what the fuck did you do? I would like the story to take place in, obviously it's going to be really far into the future. I don't have a location yet, but the idea is that it's all about the environment and whatnot, and you want to basically treat the environment well. Like, it's almost like an environmentalist look at Pokemon. However, it's a slow realization that all is not well. There's earthquakes, there's just a bunch of awful shit going down on the planet, and then you find out at the end that after going through all the trials and tribulations, and whatever team is there trying to prevent you from doing this, they're probably going to be an environmentalist team saying, yo, you can't hurt the environment, or dropping little hints as if you can't hurt it, it's very delicate, or something like that. And in the final bit of the game, you get to the end, and as you get to the end, it's in a cave, and you walk into this cave, and your cohort who's been working with you this entire time turns to you and says, look at it. And it's just a giant face on the ground. And you're like, what is this? And you realize it's the planet. The planet is a Pokemon. And that allows you to have one final fight with the planet. How fucking cool would that be? Because they have nothing left to fucking do. And all that's left is the planet that you're living on itself as a Pokemon. And you can fight it. However, if you do fight it, you get one of two options. You can catch it, or you can let it faint. If you let it faint, the game goes on as normal. There's no more earthquakes. You get to the ending. That's the true ending, where you end up basically living a peaceful life, solving all the problems by killing the planet Pokemon, or fainting it rather, which would actually be kind of funny in a sense. And plus it's dark because you just killed a Pokemon. And you've technically killed the environment. The second option, however, is if you catch it. If you catch it, you've just captured the planet in a ball. When you captured the planet, the game goes to black, and everyone dies. You know, for kids. So guys, I don't usually do this sort of video when it comes to vlogging, but honestly, I wanted to try this out, and I figured it would be kind of cool to talk about Pokemon and stuff. So, in the comments, please let me know what you guys want to hear me talk about when it comes to vlogging like this. There's going to be Tony Hawk's Underground tomorrow, and then on Saturday, another episode of Derps Against Humanity. I know you guys really started to become more attached to the Derps Against Humanity series, and I'm really proud of that because I love this series so far. Yeah. So, with that said, I'll talk to you guys later. This is Smarty, signing off.